Welcome to another edition of A Game a Day by Zay, presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. I'm Isaiah Rhodes, and today's presentation is Game 5 of the Eastern Conference semifinals between the Philadelphia 76ers and Atlanta Hawks. The Philadelphia 76ers come home, seizing home court advantage in their two-game set in Atlanta. But the 76ers lost in Game 4 in Atlanta, 103 to 100. Joel Embiid shot 4 for 20. He went 0 for 12 in the second half. And the Atlanta Hawks were able to overcome an 18-point deficit to come back and win at home and breathe new life into the series. Although the Sixers did reclaim home court advantage and bringing it back to Philadelphia for Game 5. When you look at what the Hawks were able to do, especially down the stretch, they got big-time performances from Bogdanovich. Bogdanovich had 22 points, 9 of 24, but he had some huge threes down the stretch, 4 of 13 from 3. Trae Young didn't shoot well from the floor, 8 of 26, 3 of 11 from 3, but he had 18 assists and was able to get others involved. Another big performance for the Hawks came from John Collins, who down the stretch hit a huge three-point shot to solidify the game for Atlanta. For the Sixers, they're led by Joel Embiid. I mentioned his 4 for 20 performance. Again, having that horrible second half really set the Sixers back, but he did have 21 rebounds and he played 36 minutes. Because of the lingering meniscus tear that he's battled with all playoffs, well, not all playoffs, but going back to Game 4 of the first round against the Washington Wizards. The Sixers will definitely manage that. They're going to be aware of how he's performing and definitely will have to make adjustments if he isn't able to perform in this must-win game. This is a swing game for the series. If the Sixers win, they go up 3-2 and sustain the home court advantage. But if the Hawks are able to steal this game, they have an opportunity to win Game 6 on Friday. Sixers up 5-2 as Furkan Korkmaz knocked in the three to start the game, and Tobias Harris was able to get a right corner fadeaway to fall. So Sixers up 5-2. Trae Young guarded by Ben Simmons. We'll get into Ben Simmons' defensive performance this entire season. Simmons made the all defensive first team, one of two players on the list, including Defensive Player of the Year, Rudy Gobert, to get all first place votes on the All NBA First Defensive Team. And not only did he make the All Defensive Team, but Joel Embiid made second team and Matisse Thybulle made second team, despite Thybulle playing no more than 20 minutes per game. But that shows you the defensive impact that he's had all season. Joel Embiid with the basketball going against Clint Capella, and Embiid very, very aggressive here in the first quarter. He already has 4 points. He just hit a fadeaway, then came right back, went at Clint Capella to get a basket, and the Sixers are up 9-4. Trae Young comes right back and gets that floater to fall. That floater is very intricate in his style of play. It's part of his arsenal, and the Sixers definitely have to adjust to it because not only does he get the floater, but he's able to set up alley-oops for others. Furkan Korkmaz comes right back with the mid-range jumper. So Furkan stepping up in the absence of Danny Green, who's out with the calf injury. He injured his calf going back to Game 3 in Atlanta. The Sixers were able to win that game by 18. Trae Young is fouled on a three-point shot by Seth Curry. He can't believe it. But again, you got to allow shooters room to land. So that's one area where the Sixers will definitely be under pressure because of his volume and how he plays, the way that he contorts his body at times. You're going to have to deal with those foul calls. You got to be disciplined. Good contest, but you see the contact at the bottom, slight contact. He got called for it. It's a three-shot foul. Again, Trae Young hasn't shot well in this series. He's shooting 40%, but again, he's being able to get others involved. He's putting pressure on Philadelphia, and especially in a game like this where the Sixers want to create that separation and build their crowd here at the Wells Fargo Center. You want to get the crowd involved and overwhelm the Hawks, especially this young Hawks team who's just getting their first taste of playoff experience under interim head coach Nick McMillan, who we believe will get an extension. He's definitely turned this season around for the Hawks. The initial head coach Lloyd Pierce, who actually comes from the Philadelphia 76ers tree under Brent Brown, um, they didn't get off to the expectations that many believed that they should have, and they were really out of the playoff contention for the early part of the season. But since March 2nd, they turned their season around with 27 wins and put themselves in a position to be the fifth seed. They defeated the New York Knicks in 5 games. Trae Young performed exceptionally well in that series, and it put the Hawks in position to be in this matchup against the number 1 seed Philadelphia 76ers. Ben Simmons attacking, finds Embiid at the rim, finishes a layup, looking for contact, doesn't get the call, but the Sixers are now up 13-9. And we look at Joel Embiid getting back defensively as Clint Capella tried to get an easy score off the Sixers make. He wasn't able to get that. And the Joel Embiid gets the block. Sixers get out and run. Ben Simmons finds Tobias Harris wide open for a 3 on the left wing. He misses it. I think he was too open on that shot there. But Sixers have a 2-possession lead, and the crowd is into it. Clint Capella going at Embiid. Can't finish the layup. Good deflection by Embiid to get it to Seth Curry. Seth Curry pushing the pace. He crosses the half-court line. Step back 3 from the left wing. Good. So big 3 for the Sixers. The three-pointer is falling as Furkan Korkmaz, Seth Curry, and I'm sure other Sixers like Tobias Harris, Tyrese Maxey, Shake Milton, they will have to be efficient from 3 if they want to finish off this Hawks team, who is one of the best shooting teams in the league. John Collins in the post going against Tobias Harris off the right block, able to turn baseline and get a floater to fall. So although the Sixers have the crowd behind them, they're very, very active. They're attacking the paint, being efficient. The Hawks aren't running away. Joel Embiid, he's feeling it. He's starting very, very aggressive. Obviously, he wants to respond from that horrible second half in which he didn't make any field goals. He was off 12. But when we look at how he's attacking right now, he just got a mid-range jumper to fall, and the Sixers are up by 7. 18-11, we get our first stoppage in play with 7:15 to play here in the first. The Philadelphia 76ers lead the Atlanta Hawks 18-11. This is the Game of Day by Zay, presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. I'm Isaiah Rhodes. Stay tuned. Welcome back to this Game of Day by Zay edition of basketball. We have the Atlanta Hawks versus the Philadelphia 76ers. We are in the first quarter of Game 5 between both teams. This is a swing game. Whoever wins this game will take a 3-2 lead in this best-of-7 series. Out of that timeout, John Collins gets a mid-range jumper off of the left block. So Hawks keeping pace with a Philadelphia team that hasn't missed a shot. Earlier, I said that Tobias Harris missed a 3. Apparently, they called a travel on Ben Simmons prior to the shot, so the shot didn't matter. But Embiid has been dominant. The Sixers have been able to knock down threes as Steph Curry knocks in a huge three-point shot just now, coming off of the curl. He steps up at the top of the key, knocks in the 3, so the Sixers are up 8. 6:34 to play here in the first. John Collins comes right back at Tobias Harris, draws a foul, and John Collins will be going to the free throw line. I mentioned John Collins' performance in Game 4. Big-time baskets down the stretch, really stepping up despite the bad field goal percentage at 6 of 15. He knocked in a huge three-point shot in Game 4 that solidified. It definitely came down to the wire with a Joel Embiid missed layup, but that three-point shot gave the Hawks the lead through the end of the game. I'll say that much. So Collins goes 1 of 2 at the free throw line, 21-14. Embiid splits 2 defenders as Trae Young tries to come over to help on the double team. It didn't matter. Embiid very aggressive here early. So far, 5 of 5 from the floor with 10 points. Collins goes at Embiid, no call. Tobias Harris tried to come back with the rebound. Capella snatched the offensive rebound, but the defensive effort by the Sixers made that finish very difficult. And now the Sixers come right back. Furkan Korkmaz gets Collins up in the air on a pump fake, pulls up for 3. And the irony here is that the Hawks have utilized the 3-point line and getting fouled at the three to generate points. And now you see Furkan Korkmaz utilizing that method against them as Collins closes out too hard there. The pump fake worked to perfection, and Korkmaz will be going to the free throw line. I mentioned Furkan Korkmaz and his insertion into the starting lineup because of Danny Green's calf injury. Danny Green suffered that injury in Game 3 against the Hawks. As Korkmaz misses the first free throw, Korkmaz has been with the Sixers for 4 seasons now. This season, playing 55 of the 72 games, averaged 9 points per game, shot 73% from the free throw line, and from three, shot 38%. So Korkmaz goes 1 of 3 at the free throw line. 1 of 3 at the free throw line. Sixers up 10, 24-14. Collins, free throw line extended, goes into the post against Tobias. Good defense there by Tobias. Bogdanovich, step back three over Steph Curry. Isn't able to get the three. Great effort by Furkan Korkmaz to get the rebound as he had to chase that down. It initially looked like the offensive rebound will go to the Hawks. As you miss on long threes, it tends to go long. Gallinari was closing in on the offensive rebound. The effort by Korkmaz allowed for the Sixers to get that possession. He saved it from going out of bounds, had it deflected by Trae Young, but again, possession stays with the Sixers. Embiid, going against Capella, works the shoulder fake, gets across the lane and is able to finish with the right hand. So the effort by Joel Embiid, he's definitely locked in. Sixers up by 12, 26-14. Bogdanovich trying to get across the lane, finds Capella. Capella on the baseline, tries to finish over Embiid, can't finish the layup, but John Collins is there for the offensive rebound as it drops right into his hand, and he goes right back up on the right side of the rim. So the Hawks trying to stay around and stay within arm distance of the Sixers right now. Embiid at the top of the key, going against Capella, dribble handoff to Korkmaz. Korkmaz at the rim, left hand. He misses the layup. Embiid tried to get the offensive rebound. Ben Simmons tried to get the offensive rebound. Couldn't get to it. Trae Young working the baseline, draws and kicks to Bogdanovich. 3-point shot in and out. The Sixers dodged the bullet there as Bogdanovich was wide open in the left corner for three. And we got a timeout by Doc Rivers as he wants to slow things down and get things more situated and organized. 26-16, Sixers lead. It's 4:21 to go here in the first quarter. Joel Embiid is dominant. He hasn't missed a shot all night. The Sixers are shooting 85% from the field. They're 3 of 4 from three. And again, as they have this opportunity to take this 3-2 lead and sustain the home court advantage, they are trying to get to their first Eastern Conference Finals in 20 seasons. Stay tuned for more as this is a Game of Day by Zay, presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. Welcome back as we come out of that timeout by the Philadelphia 76ers. Sixers lead by 10, 16-26. Matisse Thybulle into the game for Philadelphia. Sixers miss a three out of that timeout. Bogdanovich misses a mid-range. Seth Curry gets the rebound. He works his way to the right wing, looking for the screen from Embiid, denies it, then tries to dump it back off. It's deflected. Embiid saves it from going out of bounds. 10 on the shot clock. Embiid going against Capella, gets the switch, kicks it out to Seth Curry, and you get a turnover as Curry tried to get it back to Embiid in the post. The pass was a bit off target, and the Hawks able to get out and run. Danilo Gallinari knocks down the three. So if you're the Sixers, while you're dominating, the turnover issues we saw in the second half came back to haunt them. They had 8 more turnovers than the Hawks, and the Hawks were able to cash in, especially late. But the Sixers respond with another basket as Joel Embiid knocks in a three from the top of the key, set up by Ben Simmons. Joel Embiid with 15 points. He's 7 of 7 from the floor here in his first quarter. Danilo Gallinari right back. He misses a three. Rebounded by Seth Curry. Seth Curry is fouled, stopping the fast break, and Furkan Korkmaz is politicking with the ref here, calling for an offensive foul as Gallinari appears to have kicked out on that three. Again, the Hawks very, very competent in drawing fouls against teams on the three. And because they're such a great three-point shooting team, you have to sell out on your closeouts, but you have to be aware of what this team can do, especially drawing those fouls, manipulating calls to their favor, which is part of the game. And they definitely have utilized that here in this series. Embiid looking to go baseline is fouled, no call, but still able to get that finish, and he's very demonstrative to the ref as he's looking for a call. But Embiid's in his zone. 17 points here in the first quarter, 8 for 8 in the first half. Again, he definitely wanted to respond after that horrid second half in which he went 0 for 12. He's definitely responding to the challenge, and he's the difference as to why the Sixers are up by 12. 31-19. Kevin Hurt a fadeaway three over Shake Milton, who just entered the game. Shake Milton has come alive here in this series and been a very, very intricate part to what the Sixers have done off the bench in this series. George Hill in the post against Trae Young, able to finish. So the Sixers up by 14. Matisse Thybulle going against Trae Young. Defensively, Trae Young is so hard to guard because of his craftiness. He's so skilled with his ability to shoot, then use the intermediate game with the floater. He's such a great shooter. If he gets fouled, he goes to the free throw line. And he, along with others like Steph Curry, James Harden, and Damian Lillard, know how to utilize those screens just enough to draw the contact, stop on a dime, and make you commit fouls in pursuit of them. One of the things the Sixers definitely have to remain is discipline. You're going to be challenged, especially going against a player like Trae, but you have to stick to your core principles, close out on your shooters, stick close to your shooters because they're constantly chasing threes. Matisse Thybulle, left wing three, big time three for Matisse Thybulle, a player who is known to struggle from the field from the outside. But again, he's such a dominant defensive player despite being so young, that you have to have him on the floor. If he can turn into the quintessential 3 and D player here in this league, he will definitely have a long career. 14 on the shot clock. Sixers get a stop against the Hawks and beat in the post. Draws the double team, kicks it out to Shake Milton. They rotate it around the perimeter. Matisse Thybulle attacking the rim, dumps it off on Ben Simmons. Simmons gets the slam and screams right in Capella's face. So the Sixers up 17, 38-21 with 1 minute to go. They call a technical foul on Simmons, but the crowd here at Wells Fargo Center is on their feet. You can see the determination and intensity in Joel Embiid's face, Ben Simmons' face. They definitely want to set the tone here at home for Game 5, and you can see Joel Embiid trying to implore the crowd to stand on their feet. Joel Embiid, an exceptional first quarter. 8 for 8 from the floor, 7 of 7 from the 8 of 8 from the floor, 17 points here in the first quarter. And they call that technical foul, not on Ben Simmons, they call a technical foul on Joel Embiid as he's trying to set the tone. Again, you definitely want to play with intensity, but now he has to be aware not to pick up a second technical foul. The 76ers are playing exceptionally well with his dominance, and if at any juncture in this game he has to sit because of foul trouble or he has to leave the game with a technical foul, with 2 technical fouls, then the Sixers will be in trouble. But again, Sixers up 17. They're in control. Tony Snell for 3 at the top of the key. He misses it. Sixers fighting for the rebound, and we have there's a skirmish under the rim between Simmons and Capella. Possession will go to the Sixers with 48 seconds to go. As we look at the no, it wasn't Capella. It's Onyeka Okongwu. He just entered the game for Capella. So possession will go to Philadelphia. Tobias Harris comes into the game for Ben Simmons. Sixers up 38-22. 48 seconds to play. The Sixers have come out like gangbusters tonight. Been very aggressive. They've been efficient from the floor. They've been managing the basketball. They have the crowd behind them. Again, this energy is palpable You gotta be able to sustain this though. So they have to remain efficient, not turn over the basketball. And as I say that, Matisse Thybulle trying to attack the rim had it stolen by Tony Snell. Gallinari thought about a mid-range, takes the mid-range. He makes the mid-range. So turnovers will be the death of any team, especially in the playoffs, because of how important possessions are. The regular season is one thing, but you got to value the basketball in games like this because every possession matters. We look at a floater initially for Grant. Pardon me, I was going to say Grant Hill, um, George Hill. He wasn't able to get it off as it just rolled off the rim. Dwight Howard was there for the offensive rebound attempt, but he wasn't able to get the possession. Sixers come back, get a steal as Matisse Thybulle is able to get the steal as the buzzer sounds. 76 up 14, 38 to 24 here at the end of a one. But the Sixers cannot get comfortable. This same Atlanta Hawks team, although being at home, was able to come back from an 18-point deficit just last game in game four. So the Sixers have to maintain their intensity and continue to put their foot on the neck for the Hawks. If you're the Hawks, you play your game. The Sixers are up by 14, but you know, especially with big leads here in this game, especially with the three-point line being so prevalent in the game, you can work your way back into the game like that. So stay disciplined, continue to get good shots, and eventually the Sixers will come down to the mean and start to some of those threes that are falling will start to be missed. We saw just recently in Game 5 of the Brooklyn Nets and Milwaukee Bucks series, the Nets were at home trailing by 17 in the second half, as late as 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. But they were able to come back behind the three-point line. Jeff Green, Blake Griffin, and obviously the all-world scorer that he is, Kevin Durant, were able to get the Nets back into the game. And they came back and won that game in spectacular fashion with Kevin Durant scoring 49 points. Jeff Green had 27, and Blake Griffin had 17 points to steal that victory and have an opportunity to close out that series in Game 6. So this particular game right here, although the Sixers are up by 14, they have to remain disciplined and continue to fight, keep their foot on the necks of this Hawks team because this game is far from over. But again, this is the Game of Day by Zay presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. I'm Isaiah Rhodes. Stay tuned. Welcome back as we start the second quarter here in Philadelphia. The 76ers lead the Atlanta Hawks 28 to 24. Kevin Huerter just missed a three-point shot to start that quarter for the Hawks as the Sixers were very, very efficient in the first quarter at shooting 80%, 16 of 20 from the floor. That was led by Joel Embiid's 8 for 8 and 17 points. The Sixers 5 of 7 from three. They almost got another three-point shot from George Hill, but it rims out. The Hawks 8 of 24 from the floor, 33%. They haven't gotten it going, but again, as I just mentioned, the ability to remain disciplined in this game. Leads tend to evaporate like that, especially with how skilled these players are in the league. So if you're the Sixers, you have to maintain the intensity, the sense of urgency, understanding that this series is tied at 2. You regain home court advantage with a Game 3 victory. You had an opportunity to put the nail in the coffin, putting the Hawks down 3-1. But again, if you win this game tonight, you maintain home court and have an opportunity to close the series out against the Hawks in Game 6. But turnovers have been an issue for the Sixers already. The Sixers with 5 turnovers, and the Hawks haven't been able to cash in with points off of turnovers just yet. But those turnovers will always be an issue if you play around too much. Tobias Harris misses a mid-range on the offensive rebound. Dwight Howard tried to get that, and he slaps Bogdanovich in the face. They call a foul on Embiid. Pardon me, they call a foul on Dwight Howard. So we look at the replay. He definitely hit Bogdanovich in the face slightly, but again, when you know how to sell the call and get the ref's attention, you'll definitely get the call. Hawks with the basketball, trailing by 14. Lou Williams, who definitely has history with this Sixers team, going all the way back to 2005. He actually got a start coming out of high school with the Sixers, and it's turned into one of the best 6 men in the history of the game, a 3-time 6 man of the year. He was traded from the Clippers to Atlanta. He's from Atlanta. He has home homegrown roots here, but he brings veteran leadership. He's been in the playoffs. He's been in multiple situations. He's been on a number of teams, so he definitely can provide that veteran savvy for this mostly young Atlanta Hawks core. Dwight Howard misses a dunk that was set up perfectly by Tobias Harris, but Dwight tried to slam it home too hard. It goes off the back of the rim, and the 76ers are wasting possessions here as Dwight had an opportunity to put the Sixers up by 16. Let's see how the Hawks cash in here. They shoot a three and make a three, so that's a 5-point swing as that was a guaranteed dunk that was missed by Dwight, and Danilo Gallinari comes back, makes them pay. And the Sixers could have been up 16, but now they're only up 11. That's how quick the game can change. You have to value possessions. Shake Milton trying to attack. He misses a jumper. It goes right out to Tobias Harris on the right corner, pump fakes and drives to the rim and draws a foul. John Collins comes into the game for Okongwu. (9:34 to play. Hawks about scored the Sixers by 3 here in the second quarter. Tobias Harris at the rim, finishing strong with the left hand. Good attack there by Tobias Harris to keep the pressure on the Hawks. Collins looking to get a dribble handoff with Bogdanovich. Takes the screen from Collins. Step back three over George Hill. Misses the three off the back rim, rebounded by Howard. He gets it to Tobias Harris. Harris looking to take a screen from Dwight. Kicks it to Shake Milton. Milton crossover dribble. Tries to get a shot up over Kevin Huerter. Has it blocked. And Huerter trying to get out and run. Good defense by Tobias Harris to get back. Huerter misses the floater. So good defense as Tobias was really the only one back there and was able to get the stop. Shake Milton too strong on a three from the left wing. It goes off the back rim. So Sixers have to settle down and get quality shots here. This is a definitely valuable opportunity to get quality shots. And we got a foul called as Danilo Gallinari was backing his way into the paint. You saw George Hill pull the chair from up under him. He kind of lost his balance, but they called a foul on Dwight. As we look at the replay again, George Hill pulled the chair out from under Gallinari, and then Dwight coming in from behind kind of leaned on Gallinari. Gallinari was already falling, but again, when you show that body contact, even though it was slight, it leads to Gallinari getting free throws. So we look at the free throw line. That's one area where the Hawks have been able to get easy points right now. They're 8 of 9 from the free throw line. The 76ers have only gone one of two. Gallinari goes 1 of 2 at the free throw line. A rare miss for him. Shake Milton attacking the basket, kicks it out to George Hill. Back to Shake, left corner, thought about a three. Instead, working his way off the dribble, kicks it back out to Hill. 8 on the shot clock. George Hill takes contact from Trae Young, and we will see if the foul's on the floor or it will be in the act of shooting. It will be on the floor. George Hill trying to sell that, but it'll be sideline out of bounds as we look at Joel Embiid again. Embiid very, very dominant here in the first quarter. Seven on the shot clock. And we have a near turnover. We have a near turnover. Shake Milton trying to get it in the post for Tobias Harris. 3.1 seconds left as Lou Williams stole the basketball but stepped out of bounds. So 3.1 left. Milton pulls up for three, knocks in the three, contorts his body just enough to get a clear look at the rim and knocks in that three as the shot clock is winding down. Sixers up 15. Good setup by Trae Young for John Collins, and Collins misses the layup as the Hawks try to respond with quick offense. Collins missed the layup, but he's fouled inside. So again, the free throw line is an area where the Hawks have been able to get to and put pressure on Philadelphia, which will work in their favor towards the end of the game because you'll have the Sixers in foul trouble as a team. And at this point, especially here in the second quarter, if you can get the Sixers in a penalty early, that will allow for you to attack more often and get points on the board without necessarily having to worry about field goal percentage. Right now, the Hawks not shooting well from the floor, 31%. They're 2 of 9 from 3, but they get into the Sixers in foul trouble. They get into the line. They're 8 of 10 from the free throw line compared to the 76ers 1 of 2. As we have a stoppage in play because Gallinari was bleeding, so they have to stop the blood, which they do. So 7:50 to go here in the second quarter. The Hawks have been able to slow the game down by getting to the free throw line, and that doesn't bode well for the Sixers, who were able to get out early, get points on the board, get this crowd involved. So if you slow the game down, get into the free throw line, that kills the momentum of the Sixers. First free throw for Collins is short, so he misses that free throw. Sixers still up by 15, 43 to 28. Seth Curry comes into the game for the Sixers. And Joel Embiid comes back into the game. Embiid, 17 points in the first quarter, ties his playoff career high for any quarter. Embiid has set a number of playoff career highs during this playoff run. He had a 40-point game in this series going back to game 2, which is his career high for the playoffs. So he definitely wants to continue to do so if this Sixers team wants to have a shot at going to the Eastern Conference Finals and even further. Shake Milton draws and kicks for Embiid. He thought about a dribble handoff with Matisse Thybulle. Instead goes into the paint. Takes the double team as Trae Young tries to set up the double team. Matisse Thybulle, left corner 3, knocks it down. So if you're the Hawks, you want to play Matisse Thybulle for those threes. You have to dare him to make it. If you're the Sixers, you need Matisse to play with the confidence and shoot with confidence. He makes this. He's made 2 threes here in the first half, and the Sixers are up by 17. But they have an opportunity. The Hawks have an opportunity to get the 3 points back as Kevin Huerter misses the initial layup. Great initial defense by the Sixers, but they're not there on the rebound. And Clint Capella is able to get the putback with a foul against Shake Milton. So although Capella is a bad free throw shooter, this is an opportunity to get some points on the board. He misses the free throw badly, and it goes to Matisse Thybulle. So we cross the 7-minute mark for the Sixers. Shake Milton with the basketball at the top of the key, looking for Embiid in the post. Again, Capella really struggling against Embiid here in this series. Embiid mid-range jumper falls off the back rim. Trying to get the rebound. We got a loose ball foul against Bogdanovich, trying to box out for that rebound. He uses his off arm against Thybulle. So the Sixers retain possession with 6:49 to go here in the first half. Sixers up 15. Hawks trying to work their way back, utilizing the free throw line. We'll be back with more as this is a Game of Day by Zay, presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. Welcome back as this is a Game of Day by Zay, presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. And we have Philadelphia 76ers luminaries in the building tonight as Allen Iverson, the 2001 league MVP, is joined by the great Dr. J, who was the 1981 NBA MVP and also played a huge part as the anchor of the 1983 NBA champions, also led by the late great Moses Malone, who most famously documented the 4-4-4 declaration. Sixers did not finish that playoff run 4-0-4-0-4-0. They actually finished 4-4-0-4-1-4-0. So much respect to the great Moses Malone, who set the tone for the Sixers on that playoff run. But the Sixers have their own chance now to go to the finals as they're led by Joel Embiid. Embiid is called for a travel as he tried to draw a foul against Capella, then tried to kick it out at the last minute. Got called for the travel. But the 76ers have been able to sustain here in the second quarter. Their shooting has slowed down a bit. They go from 80% in the second quarter to now they're 80% in the first quarter to now shooting 60% overall. But their defensive presence, especially with the likes of Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, and Matisse Thybulle, three all defensive players this season. The Sixers have been able to maintain the 4-point lead that they established in the first quarter, now about 15. Joel Embiid attacking Capella once again, and the Atlanta Hawks cannot stop Joel Embiid in the paint. He's very, very aggressive. He's coming off of a 4 for 20 performance against the Hawks. He was definitely laboring down the stretch, dealing with the meniscus tear that he's been managing. And by all accounts, many people are really, really in awe as to how he's still been able to play since the slight tear in his meniscus, the right knee. He's been able to play all but one game so far in this playoff run. Uh, Joel Embiid has been in MVP conversations all year, and you really got to see how dominant he has been when he's motivated at the highest level. A lot of that can be traced back to Doc Rivers and really uh, challenging him to be his very best every single night. But when you look at what the 76ers have done, bringing in Seth Curry, bringing in Danny Green, bringing in Dwight Howard, uh, also empowering Ben Simmons to be more of what he is, which is a facilitator and great defensive player. This team has championship aspirations, and they're going to be led by Joel Embiid all the way around. Seth Curry for three knocks down a huge three from the right wing, pushing the Sixers lead up to 20 as we approach 5 minutes to play here in the first half. The Sixers up 51 to 31. Trae Young, guarded by Seth Curry, crossover dribble, looking to set up Capella. Instead, has to work the baseline. Great pass out to Kevin Huerter on the right wing. Huerter had a wide open three as Trae Young went behind his head to find Huerter. Huerter wasn't able to knock in that three. So Sixers now on the run, and the Hawks foul Ben Simmons with 4:58 to play. Right now, the three-point shooting for the Sixers has been the difference as the Hawks 2 of 11 from three, and the Sixers are 8 of 12 from three. We still have just under 5 minutes to play here in the first half. Sixers up by 20, 51 to 31. This is a Hawks team that is very, very young. They're led by Nate McMillan, who became the interim head coach mid-season. He turned this season around. This Hawks team has exceeded all expectations. As they're the fifth seed, they defeated the New York Knicks in the first round, got their first taste of playoff experience with this young core led by Trae Young. But now, especially against a team like the Sixers, who have gone through their fair share of playoff heartbreak, they have the experience trying to battle for a championship. This is definitely the challenge that they need if they're going to go to the next level. Simmons is fouled attacking the basket. He goes 1 of 2 at the free throw line. He makes the first, misses the second. The Hawks take that. They get out and run. Trae Young is fouled under the rim. He'll go to the free throw line with 4:52 to go here in the first half. One thing I'll say, as I mentioned earlier, the free throw line has definitely been a point of emphasis for the Hawks here in the first half, as um, they've gone 10 of 14 from the free throw line. Trae Young makes the first. That has given them an opportunity to put the Sixers in the penalty early, and it slowed the game down. The Sixers, although they're up 20, they don't have the same pace that they had in the first half. So if you're the Hawks, you have to continue to get to that free throw line to kind of kill that momentum. If you do so, it allows for you to, again, uh, set the pace, slow the game down, and put the Sixers in foul trouble, which you'll need to utilize to your favor late in the game. Trae Young misses the second free throw, and the Hawks are utilizing the hacker Ben strategy. They're in the penalty, but they're going to foul Ben Simmons as long as he's on the floor up until the last 2 minutes of the half. This is a strategy made famous going back to Shaquille O'Neal, who was extremely, extremely dominant throughout his career, but most notably with the Los Angeles Lakers. The Hacker Shaq strategy didn't work because obviously he won 4 championships in 6 years, three with the Lakers, but teams had to utilize that to stop him from being as dominant as he was. I mean, he was missing 12 free throws in the game and still scoring 38 points. So Ben Simmons, not the scorer that Shaq is, but Teams will utilize that if they want to get back into a game. In his postseason, Simmons shooting 34% from the free throw line. Post All-Star break, he was shooting 53% at the free throw line. So he's definitely regressed, and teams are using that against Philadelphia. He misses both free throws, but who's there to get the offensive rebound? Joel Embiid. He gets the rebound and has to be fouled um, to stop an easy basket. So if you're the Sixers, Ben misses those free throws. Obviously, you don't want to see that, but they have an opportunity to get the points back as a great free throw shooter, and Joel Embiid goes to the line. He makes the first. Joel Embiid tonight has been absolutely magnificent. So far here in the first half, Embiid 8 of 9 from the field. He has 19 points, now 20 as he makes that first free throw, 20.6 rebounds, and this is on the heels of a 49-point performance by Kevin Durant, which was a virtuoso magnum opus level performance from Kevin. He made every single big shot for the Nets down the stretch. He was able to create off the dribble, set up others, as he also had a triple-double with 49 points, 15 rebounds, and 10 assists. Embiid on pace, at least now, with 20 in the first half. He's on pace for 40. But if Embiid continues this level of dominance, this is a Sixers team that should be going to Atlanta with a 3-2 lead with an opportunity, a 3-2 lead in the series with an opportunity to close out the Hawks on the road. And right now, they're trying to determine who the foul was on. The foul stands, but they were just trying to determine whether the foul was on Clint Capella. Right now, Capella very much struggling in 14 minutes. His plus minus right now is negative 22, and that's a lot to be said for everybody on this team. They're all in the negative right now, plus minus. And B goes 2 of 2 at the line, but Capella 1 of 5 from the floor, only 3 rebounds. Pardon me, 5 rebounds, and again, really struggling to defend the great Joel Embiid. Trae Young almost thought about a 3. Instead, went inside to Clint Capella. 7 on the shot clock. Capella going against Embiid. Has it deflected, and we got a travel against Capella. And then Clint Capella just punched Joel Embiid on the floor. He just punched Joel Embiid on the floor. So the refs definitely have to pay attention to both of these guys. They've been battling all series. Obviously, Joel Embiid, the better player, but Capella has a history of being known as a solid defender. In this series, though, he's been negated at a high level. Okay, so it's not a punch per se, but he definitely pushed Embiid. Embiid went to the floor, so technical foul on Capella, and Embiid makes the free throw. So it's 55-32, and we look at the replay. Embiid actually got he forced the travel, and then Embiid pushes him. Pardon me, Capella pushes Embiid. Embiid falls to the ground. He kind of sells it just a bit with a little bit of a flop, or a lot of a flop. But again, he's definitely getting under the skin of Capella, and it's working as the Sixers now up by 23. Embiid in the post against Capella. Double team comes from Kevin Huerter. Sixers trying to get the offensive rebound. It comes right out to Joel Embiid. 10 on the clock. Mid-range jumper Embiid. He misses it. John Collins gets the rebound, finds Trae Young. Matisse Thybulle able to put pressure on Trae Young. Trae has to kick it inside to Capella, and the Sixers able to get the steal. Ben Simmons out on the run is fouled by Kevin Huerter. They have to check to see if this is a clear path foul because it was only 2 Sixers ahead. They're going to check to see who was in the vicinity of Ben Simmons there, but I think that's considered a clear path foul. We look at the defense by Matisse Thybulle, which forced Trae Young to have to get that to Clint Capella. Clint Capella tried to find Kevin Huerter, which turned into the clear path foul. They're going to review this, and Ben Simmons was the only one ahead. They're going to check to see where the foul actually occurred. Was it in the backcourt or if it was in the front court? If it's in the front court, it will be considered the clear path foul, which would give the Philadelphia 76ers 2 free throws and possession. We look at Trae Young. He's forced to pass it inside to Capella. Capella wasn't quite ready for the pass. Had to kick it to John Collins, who was looking for Kevin Huerter. Kevin Herter went for the dump off to Collins, and to stop the fast break by Ben Simmons, we got a foul. So great effort there by Seth Curry to also deny that bounce pass to Collins, which led to the steal by Ben Simmons. And at 3:44 to go, 76ers up by 23 here in the first half. You can see Nate McMillan trying to keep this young Hawks team engaged. Obviously, trailing by 23, you can get a bit overwhelmed. But again, this is a Hawks team that, okay, so the call comes in. It's a clear path foul. So now the 76ers get 2 free throw opportunities in possession. Because the Sixers are about 23, it's not much of a swing, but what it does do is give Ben Simmons the opportunity to go to the free throw line. He's been struggling from the line. I mentioned the free throw shooting here in this postseason. It's been very, very putrid. First free throw for Simmons, he misses horribly off the back rim. He's gonna get another opportunity at the rim. I mean, at the free throw line. You can see Joel Embiid trying to encourage him as best he can. Simmons, second free throw, he misses both. If you're the Sixers, you have to start wondering what will happen in terms of how you manage him in the guts of a Eastern Conference Finals versus the Nets or Milwaukee. If they're able to eke by those top tier teams, you get to the finals versus a Utah or a Clippers or a Phoenix. These are teams that are going to exploit Ben as a free throw shooter. How do you manage the lineups that you have, the rotations that you have? And already we see the Hawks are going back to the hacker Ben strategy. He just missed 2 free throws on a clear path. Now he's going to the line. He has to take the onus on himself to accept these challenges and make these free throws. He's a young player. He's only 24. He's an exceptional defensive player. He's an exceptional playmaker. But with 3 points tonight, he's 1 of 7 from the free throw line. He makes this free throw here, which definitely gets this Wells Fargo crowd up on their feet. They're trying to motivate him, trying to get his form right, all the things that you would want to see from your fan base. But as a team going down the stretch, maybe not against the Hawks, but against top tier teams that are more experienced, that will come back to haunt the Sixers. Trae Young going against Joel Embiid. Great defense on the perimeter by Embiid. Forces the kick out to Gallinari. 7 on the shot clock. Gallinari guarded by Seth Curry. Step back 3. He misses it off the back rim. Ben Simmons able to get out and run. Simmons trying to attack Herter. He misses a dunk off the back rim. And that was something that he would have needed to boost his confidence right now. He's not scoring. Again, the Sixers are up by 24, so it's not hurting him, hurting the team. But this is the opportunity that he needs for his confidence to see that ball going through the basket. He needs to definitely get that mental block over his free throw shooting and shooting in general. It's been a big conversation starter in regards to him being a bad shooter throughout his career and how that will limit his team's expectations going forward. So far though, Doc Rivers has this team clicking on all cylinders, and Ben Simmons has played a big part in that. Korkmaz for 3 at the top of the key, misses it short. Trae Young previously just got a mid-range jumper to 4 from the right corner, so the Hawks trail by 22, 56-34. Trae Young guarded by Matisse Thybulle. Thought about a floater, takes the floater, misses the floater. Rebounded by Embiid with the basketball. They cross the timeline. Embiid gets it to Korkmaz. Korkmaz at the top of the key finds Thybulle. Looking to set up Embiid in the post. Embiid's been so dominant here in his first half. Looking to attack Capella. Shot clock running down to 5. Back in the post. Embiid showed the shimmy. Fade away. Big time basket by one of the most skilled bigs in the history of the game. Joel Embiid really taking that challenge on. 24 points here in the first half. 9 of 11 from the floor. He's on pace for a big time scoring performance, an all-time level performance here at the Philadelphia 76ers have Allen Iverson in their building. The all-time playoff scorer for one game with 55 points scored against the Charlotte Hornets. But he has 3 50-point games in his career, 2 going back to that Philadelphia 76ers finals run in 2001. Trae Young misses the layup. Seth Curry, great outlet pass from Joel Embiid, leads to a Seth Curry layup. And the Sixers are now up by 24, 60-36, as we approach 1 minute to play here in the first half. As the Hawks trying to establish Gallinari in the post. Going against Korkmaz. On the left block, fadeaway jumper. Misses it short. Rebounded by Ben Simmons. Simmons looking to push the pace. Attacks John Collins at the rim. The layup is good. Good Euro step to get to that right hand and finish off the glass. So Sixers now up by 26, 62-36. We approach the final seconds here in the first half. The Hawks have struggled from the floor. They're overwhelmed defensively, as Joel Embiid has just been an absolute terror inside. The Hawks shooting 29% in the first half, 12 of 41 from the floor. They're 2 of 11 from three. The Sixers, in stark contrast, are shooting 56%. They're shooting 23 of 41 from the floor. They haven't been able to shoot their free throws well. That is traced to Ben Simmons. But again, outside of that free throw shooting, they're out rebounding the Hawks. They're forcing turnovers. They're getting out and running. They forced 5 turnovers. They have 5 points off of those turnovers. Sixers have 12 fast break points. They are outscoring the Hawks by 16 points with points in the paint, 26-10. And when you look at what Joel Embiid has done, especially responding to that horrible second half in Game 4 in Atlanta, the Sixers had an opportunity to put a 3-1 stranglehold on this series. Embiid's second half, 0 of 12 from the field, led to the Hawks being able to come back after trailing by 18. They eked out a victory 103-100, and it gave them new life. This dominant performance here in the first half, you still got 24 minutes to play, but this dominant performance here by Embiid has set the tone for this Sixers team that has an opportunity to take a 3-2 lead with an opportunity to finish out in Atlanta. So stay tuned for more as we got a timeout on the floor. This is the Game of the Day by Zay, presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. Sixers up by 26, 62-36 with 47 seconds to go in the first half. Welcome back as the Sixers up by 26. Trae Young was fouled. He goes 1 of 2 at the free throw line, so Sixers up by 25 now as Ben Simmons works the right corner, looking to set up a 3. Seth Curry thought about the 3 from the right wing, takes the screen from Embiid, step back 3 at the top of the key. He misses it. Sixers trying to get the offensive rebound and rolls to Gallinari. So there's a 8-second differential between shot clock and game clock. Trae Young thought about a 3, goes to Lou Williams. Trae out to Collins, steps into the 3. He makes the 3. And if you're the Hawks, that can be something you can utilize to build some momentum going into the second half, as now they trail by 22. Tobias Harris with the basketball. 8 seconds left in the first half. Sixers have thoroughly dominated, in control, and look to put the finishing touches on a dominant first half. Tobias misses the 3, so we go into the second half as the Sixers lead 62-40. They outscored the Hawks by 14 in the first quarter, 38-24. They've outscored the Hawks in the second quarter, 24-12. 24-13. So we go into 24-16. Excuse me. But we go into the second half. Joel Embiid has been very, very dominant. 24 points, 9 of 11 from the floor. He started the game at 8 of 8 with 17 points in the first quarter. He scored 7 in the second quarter. He has 10 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 block, and he's plus 25 and plus minus for this Sixers team. He's definitely gotten contributions from Seth Curry with 11 points, 4 of 7 from the field, 3 of 6 from 3. You look at what Tobias Harris has done. He hasn't shot well from the floor, but again, this team is doubly dominated as a team, and the defensive effort that we've seen from this Sixers team has definitely set the tone as well. The Hawks are not shooting well from the floor. They're shooting 31%. They're 3 of 12 from 3, and they made it very, very difficult on Trae Young, especially attacking the basket. He's only taken 8 shots so far, 8 of 10 from the free throw line, but the Sixers have made it difficult for him to get any 3-point shots, and as I mentioned, he's 3 of 8 from the floor. So the Hawks have to go back to the drawing board. What they do know is that they have a Game 6 at home coming up on Friday. So even if they do lose this game, they need to start to establish some momentum going into Game 6 so that they can have a big time outing to save their season. If you're the Sixers, you can't let your foot off the gas. You're up by 22. You should be looking to put the death run on this young Hawks team who still believe they have life. You have to kill their spirit and make them understand why there are levels to these NBA playoffs and performances. Yes, the Hawks are a young team. They have a spark, and they're going to be a great team for years to come. But if you're the Sixers, you have to let them know that this is just not their time. You can't let your foot off the gas. You can't turn over the basketball, and you have to be prepared for them to hack a foul Ben. And Ben Simmons has to take on the onus to start making his free throws. You're not going to lose to this Hawks team tonight, or hopefully, if you're the Sixers. But you have to start to get into a rhythm, making free throws, understanding that teams are going to look to exploit you going forward. We'll see what happens in the second half. This is a Game of Day by Zay presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. I'm Isaiah Rhodes. Stay tuned for the second half between the Philadelphia 76ers and Atlanta Hawks. Welcome back, as this is a Game of Day by Zay presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. We are getting ready to start the second half between the Philadelphia 76ers and Atlanta Hawks. This is Game 5 of the Eastern Conference semifinals between both teams, as the series is tied at 2-2. 76ers stole home court in Game 3. Well, stole home court back in Game 3, but the Hawks survived Game 4 103-100 as Joel Embiid struggled horribly in the second half, all of 12 from the floor. He has responded to the challenge of playing at a high level, dominating on every single possession here in his first half, and he came out 9 of 11 in 19 minutes, 24 points, 10 rebounds, a block, and the 76ers have followed his lead. Defensively, the Sixers have held premier shooters like Trae Young, Bogdanovich, and Kevin Huerter under their thumb. And with the final 24 minutes of this game, the Sixers look to take a 3-2 lead going to Atlanta on Friday. Start the half as Clint Capella tries to throw it cross court to John Collins. Turnover as Ben Simmons gets the steal, and the Sixers able to get out and run as Seth Curry draws the foul, driving to the basket. That foul is against Bogdanovich. The 76ers have completely, thoroughly dominated the Hawks, shooting 31% from the floor, 3 of 12 from 3, shooting 11 of 17 from the free throw line, which is rare for them. And we got an offensive foul against Tobias Harris trying to establish post position against Bogdanovich. So the Sixers, as I mentioned, their defensive presence against the Hawks. As a team, they shot 54%, 8 of 17 from 3. They shot 8 of 15 from the free throw line. That is a byproduct of Ben Simmons struggling at the line on numerous occasions. But outside of Ben Simmons' struggles at the line, this team's pace is at a high level. Ben Simmons has been able to get out and run and set the tone, getting others involved. And then when we look at his presence defensively, he's definitely played a key role in why Trae Young is struggling from the field. Trae Young able to attack as the Sixers turn over the basketball. Joel Embiid trying to establish Ben Simmons in the post. It turns into a turnover as Trae Young gets out and runs, draws contact on Tobias Harris. He'll be going to the free throw line. The free throw line had been a benefit of the Hawks, especially to start the game, but the latter part of that second quarter went awry at the free throw line. Trae Young has missed 2 free throws today, which is rare for him. 8 of 10 at the free throw line, he makes the first. If you're the Sixers, you have to be careful. The Hawks are one of the best shooting teams. Obviously, they got hit in the mouth in that first half, but they want to respond and build some momentum going into Game 6 in Atlanta. If you're the Sixers, you want to keep your foot on the gas. Sometimes that half court can be a gift and a curse. If you're the Sixers, it was a curse because it stops your momentum. You have to rebuild it. And already we see out of the half, Sixers just not valuing the basketball. A turnover by Furkan Korkmaz turned into a layup for Trae Young. So the Sixers have yet to score, and already the Hawks have gotten a number of baskets. They've got Sixers in foul trouble. They've been to the free throw line, and Trae Young is starting to get into a rhythm. We see a near turnover forced as Clint Capella was guarding Joel Embiid Bogdanovich came over on the double team, deflected it out of bounds. So 13 on the shot clock. The Sixers have to keep points on the board to get this crowd involved and also keep pressure on the Hawks. We get a three-point shot from Seth Curry to keep things above board, puts the Sixers back up by 21, 65-44. That three-pointer was set up by Ben Simmons going towards that right corner. Trae Young attacks downhill, looks to get inside, blocked by Joel Embiid. Possession will stay with the Hawks, 10 on the shot clock. But Embiid definitely has stepped up defensively against Trae Young on a number of occasions, not just defending that floater or alley-oop set up for Capella or John Collins, but he's also stepped out on the perimeter, made it very, very difficult. We get a missed three from Bogdanovich. Rebounded by Korkmaz, he finds Ben Simmons. Simmons looking to go downhill, gets it to Embiid. Embiid steps into a three, makes that three. So big three for Joel Embiid. He gets the Sixers back up 24, and as I mentioned, putting that ball in that basket gets the crowd going. Embiid continues his great scoring night, 27 points. He's already made more field goals to start this half than he did the entire second half of Game 4 against Atlanta. And Embiid blocking Clint Capella at the rim forces a turnover as Capella couldn't corral the rebound, and it goes off his hands. Possession goes back to the 76ers. Embiid had just been a terror against Capella tonight. Specifically, he had 40 points in Game 2, but it looks like he's on his way to a 50-point night. Tobias Harris on the left wing, skip pass over to Korkmaz. Three-point shot for Korkmaz, no good, but he's fouled by Herter on that closeout. Great skip pass from Tobias Harris from the left wing over to Korkmaz in the right corner, and he's fouled. We look at this replay on this block by Joel Embiid. Embiid able to step up despite that torn meniscus to block Capella. Capella just has not been able to get things going if he's not set up off the pick and roll by Trae Young. And that's just the reality. Offensively, as Korkmaz misses another free throw, he struggled at the free throw line here in the playoffs. But again, when you look at what Capella has done in his career, he's usually set up by great guards. We go back to his time with James Harden in Houston. He was able to maneuver alley-oops, dunks, and blocks into a $90 million extension with the Rockets. When they traded Clint Capella to the Hawks last year, he struggled last year as the Hawks were still trying to find their identity as a young team. This year, they struggled out of the box. Lloyd Pierce was let go. And what you see as Nate McMillan has stepped up in the interim, this Hawks team, again, very, very young, very, very fast, a great shooting team. They've found that niche for Capella to really turn into one of the best finishes at the rim set up off alley-oops. But if he doesn't have that, he's negated in the series. Embiid going against Capella is deflected. Bogdanovich at the rim. He has the easy layup as the Sixers don't want to foul and give up anything cheap. So good defense there by Capella, trying to do things to stay active in this game. Turnovers for the Sixers have been an issue. The Sixers have 9 turnovers, and the Hawks have 11 points off of those turnovers. But Embiid comes right back, draws a foul, so that is a good half-court possession. Ben Simmons looks to find Embiid at the rim, get an easy opportunity for the Sixers team, find ways to get points on the board, and again, keeping pressure on the Hawks. 8:31 to go here in the first half. Joel Embiid with 27 points. He has been the absolute MVP of this game. Many people felt Embiid was MVP of the season, if not for so many injuries that kept him off the court for 21 games. While he was on the court, he was definitely the most dominant player. No disrespect to Nikola Jokic, who had an equally dominant performance in his own right. But from a scoring standpoint, the defensive impact that Embiid possesses is just not what Jokic can do now. On Jokic's side of things, which Jokic was definitely deserving of an MVP. He's a 2021 MVP. He played every game. He's an exceptional playmaker, as we see he averaged almost 9 assists this year. As John Collins knocks in the three from the left corner. Collins tonight 6 of 9 from the floor, 16.6 rebounds. But one of the things that Jokic was able to do this year is increase his scoring up from 20 points to 26 points this year. Embiid faces a double team, almost turned over the basketball, gets it to Tobias Harris, and we got a foul against the Sixers. So here we go as the offensive lows are picking up. Doc Rivers trying to implore his team to stay disciplined, stay organized. Usually, when you have these big leads like this, it's very, very dangerous. I mentioned the 18-point lead the Sixers had in the first half of Game 4. The Hawks were able to come back. Obviously, they had the home crowd to motivate them and push them. On the road, it's a little bit difficult, but home or road, you still have to continue to play consistently, especially in the playoffs. Anything can happen. When teams get desperate, crazy things happen. Trae Young shoots a long bomb, his first three-pointer made in this game, and it cuts the 23-point lead to 20, 72 to 52. Trae Young now 5 of 14 with 21 points. Seth Curry attacking, trying to go off the glass, is blocked by John Collins. Possession will stay with the Sixers. As we look at Trae Young, gets the switch with Tobias Harris. Ben Simmons had to go back and defend John Collins, and just enough space for Trae to get off a 30-footer. So 9 seconds left on the shot clock, 7:18 to go here in the third. Doc Rivers calls timeout. We'll be back. 76ers lead 72 to 52, but the Hawks are making their run. Stay tuned for more. This is the Game of Day by Zay, presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. Welcome back. Out of that timeout, the 76ers get a shot from Joel Embiid as the shot clock is winding down. He misses the three, so the Hawks have an opportunity to get this deficit inside of 20. And the Sixers able to get the stop defensively is great defense by Ben Simmons to get that deflection off of Trae Young and get the ball back. So Sixers up by 20, 72 to 52. With possession, 6:52 to go here in the third quarter. Trae Young starting to get it going offensively here. He previously just knocked in the three from the left wing. Tobias Harris steps into a three. He misses it short. Offensive rebound is there for Embiid. He's fouled, no call. Hawks able to get out and run. Good defense by Seth Curry to commit that foul to stop that fast break. But Embiid had the offensive rebound. It was deflected. It was definitely contact. He tried to settle a call a bit. Maybe the ref saw the flopping and didn't want to call it. But there was contact there to be called for the foul. This is a sensitive time for the Sixers because they're up 20. It's still a mountain of time left. You have a 12-minute fourth quarter, and you have 6:30 to go here in the third quarter. So if you're the Hawks, you definitely still have the three-point line to your advantage, and you have an opportunity to get out and run. They had a foul, or they had to foul John Collins as Joel Embiid fell to the ground. But they got a steal by Seth Curry, who was trying to leak out. And as Joel Embiid tried to get the outlet pass to Seth Curry, it was stolen, and he had to foul Collins as Bogdanovich saved that possession. It could have been a brutal situation for Collins as he fell back. His leg got pinned under Embiid. Embiid is a near 300-pound man. Good defense by the Sixers as they prevent Trae Young from getting an easy basket. Seth Curry for three, knocks it down. So big three for the Sixers, again, to just keep that separation. You got to keep that pressure on the Hawks to make them understand that this game it won't come down to the wire. Trae Young getting it to Bogdanovich. He misses the three. Rebounded by Simmons. Simmons turns over the basketball. A bad turnover there as Embiid is the only one back. Ben Simmons moving a bit too fast now. The turnovers starting to pile up here for the Sixers. They're in control, but these turnovers have been a point of an issue. 13 turnovers already, and you look at the points off of those turnovers. The Hawks with 12 points off of them turnovers. So if you're the Sixers, you got to tighten this up. Bogdanovich for three, and those are 3 points off of those turnovers. The 76ers now up by they call a long two, and it's almost a turnover as Seth Curry has the dribble handoff disrupted by Bogdanovich. Embiid, pull-up jumper off the back rim. Collins with the rebound. We approach 5 minutes to go here in the third. Hawks trail by 21. They call that Bogdanovich jumper a long two. We'll see if they review it. Alley-oop for Collins, just a bit too high. The opportunity was there, but the pass from Bogdanovich a bit too high for Collins. So it'll be a turnover. But we approach 5 minutes to go here in the third. 76ers went into the half up 21. They went into the half up 22. They're up 21. But this whole team is definitely developing a rhythm, and the Sixers have been a bit sloppy in the second half. Seth Curry draws a foul on Bogdanovich, trying to uh, split defenders. As we look at Curry looking to go and attack Clint Capella. We got a stoppage on the floor. I don't know if this will be challenged or not, but it's a stoppage on the floor. Philadelphia up 75 to 54. 4:56 to go here in the third quarter, so stay tuned for more. And this is a Game of Day by Zay, presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. Stay tuned. Welcome back. As the challenge was unsuccessful, Bogdanovich picks up his fifth foul as they determine he made contact with Seth Curry before he was hit in the face with an elbow. So the next possession, Seth Curry knocks in the three at the top of the key. Sixers now up by 24. They get a stop in the paint as Solomon Hill couldn't finish. Simmons out running, finds Korkmaz, his three rims out. Rebounded by Collins. Sixers up 78 to 54. We approach 4 minutes to play here in the third. Sixers trying to take a 3-2 lead here in this series. Is Lou Williams knocks in a mid-range jump shot from the right wing. Sixers trying to take a 3-2 lead with an opportunity to close out this series in Game 6. Seth Curry knocks in another three. So the 76ers utilizing that three-point line to create the separation they need to really put the kill shot in to this Atlanta Hawks team. Lou Williams at the top of the key. We approach 3 minutes to play. He finds Capella off a great screen and roll. Lou Will, definitely a good playmaker. I won't call him a facilitator for others, but he plays off his ability to score, and that mid-range jump shot is always there, so defenders have to get up and defend that, and he gets a great setup for Capella. The 76ers come right back as Seth Curry has picked up his scoring here in his third quarter. Great backdoor cut set up by Joel Embiid off the mid-post, and we get a three-pointer from Trae Young from the right winger, a 25-footer, to get him to 24 points. He's shooting 6 of 15 from the floor, but those three-point shots always keep your points high when you're able to make them. And B finds Tobias Harris, who gets it to Seth Curry, the wide-open three from the right corner, no good. He chases down the rebound. And Embiid is there to get the offensive rebound. And we got a foul against Lou Williams. We look at Seth Curry picking it up here in this third quarter. Seth Curry now with a total of 25 points, 9 of 13 from the field, 7 of 11 from three. As a team, the 76ers shooting 13 of 25 from three, 50% from, 50% from three, 13 of 26 from three. So they've sustained their 22-point lead, and now Ben Simmons goes to the free throw line. He has to get better at the line. Here this free throw rims out. I mentioned that free throw line will be exploited by better teams. This is a young Hawks team, which still has a chance to win this series. The series is not over. Once you go back to Atlanta, you get the home crowd behind you. Let's see if they can push this to 7. But say the 76ers win this series. This is an inexperienced Hawks team who are just getting their feet wet with high leverage basketball in the playoffs. That happens. You'll beat them. But going against the Brooklyn Nets, who have the high-powered offense of Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Kyrie Irving. You look at what James Harden did in his first return, battling back from that hamstring injury. Didn't really score like many people expected. He was out of rhythm, but he'll definitely get into a groove. You got Kevin Durant, who's coming off of a 49-point performance in the playoffs, a magnum opus level performance. That level of explosiveness that you have. And I didn't even mention Kyrie Irving, who's battling this ankle injury that will probably keep him out for the rest of that Bucks series. But Going against the Sixers team with that high power offense, then you got the experience of the rest of the team. They'll look to exploit Ben Simmons at the free throw line. And then what will the Sixers do? Ben has to get into that gym and start to knock down those free throws. Seth Curry looking to set up Ben Simmons at the rim. He couldn't finish the layup. Hawks looking to get out and run. We're under 2 to play here in the third quarter. Lou Williams on the left wing, thought about a three, goes to Gallinari. In the deep left corner, guarded by Thibault. 8 on the shot clock. Over to Lou Williams, it's deflected by Joel Embiid with 7 seconds on the shot clock. Great defense there by the Sixers to keep the Hawks in that corner. We look at Embiid go to the bench. He has 31 points. Slowed down scoring wise, only 7 points here in the third. He was definitely on pace for a high 40-point night. You never know what can happen in the fourth. But tonight, 31 points, 11 rebounds. He's been dominant, and Sixers have responded. 85-63. Trae Young at the top of the key, guarded by Thibault. Takes the screen, mid-range jumper off the back rim. Okongwu gets the rebound. Great deflection by Shake Milton, but they call a foul. Now, they called a foul on Shake Milton, but they could have called the loose ball foul on Okongwu going over the back. So Okongwu will go to the free throw line. Onego Ganku tonight in 3 minutes really hasn't contributed much. No points, no rebounds. He was tasked with defending Joel Embiid early in the game. He couldn't really defend. I don't think anybody could defend Embiid tonight. He's just been in that level of a zone. Embiid tonight shooting 11 of 15, 2 of 3 from 3, 7 of 7 at the free throw line. Really just a perfect game outside of 5 turnovers. But Okongwu finally gets into the score sheet with 2 free throws. So it's a 20-point game. We approach 1 minute to go here in the third. Shake Milton into the game. Shake Milton really had a coming out party in game 2, which really saved the Sixers. He had 14 points in 14 minutes. Those 14 points were a spark plug for the Sixers to go on a magnificent run that closed out the fourth and really saved this series, because the Hawks were obviously trying to steal 2 games here in Philadelphia. They won game 1, 128 to 124, and the Sixers, who were up in the first half, really dominating behind Joel Embiid's spectacular performance, career high 40 points, but they were making their run. The Hawks were making their run, and the Sixers definitely needed a spark. Shake Milton came in, knocked in 4 3-point shots, and really just got this team off the mat at the latter part of that third quarter, and they took that momentum into the fourth and finished the game. Since then, he's been in the rotation. Tyrese Maxey hasn't really played much since Shake has been back into the rotation. But again, Doc Rivers pushing all the right buttons right now as he's trying to get this Sixers team to their first Eastern Conference Finals since 2021. Pardon me, since 2001. As we look at Solomon Hill deflect Ben Simmons pass to Shake Milton. 40 seconds left to go here in the third. Sixers up about 20, 87-67. If you're the Hawks, even if you go down in this game tonight, you know that you have the home crowd behind you. You had a big, hard-fought win in game 4, and in doing so, that brought you new life. Going down 3-2, it would definitely provide a different pressure, because this Hawks team had not faced a win-or-go-home situation. But with that home crowd, anything can happen. So you're trying to push this to game 7. Shake Milton attacking Trae Young, finds the white, and they call a travel on Shake Milton. So tough turnover here for the Sixers. And you see Doc Rivers very, very demonstrative in trying to get this team to be efficient offensively. The turnovers have been an issue, and now Trae Young will go to the free throw line for 2. Even if the 76ers win this game, their turnovers have been an issue tonight. Their total turnovers tonight, 12 turnovers. They've given up 16 points off of those turnovers. If the Hawks shot better from 3, they're 6 of 17 tonight, and they really picked it up here in the third behind Trae Young. But 6 of 17 from 3 doesn't really suit them at their best. If the Hawks were remotely better from 3, this game would be a lot closer dealing with these Sixers turnovers. You can't play around, especially with a young team who's desperate and wants a chance to really shock the world. You're up 18 going into the fourth. You want to make sure that they know that the Sixers are a better team. Shake Milton inside can't finish the jumper. Rebounded by Okongu. So with an 18-point lead, the Sixers definitely have to get a stop here. The Hawks have an opportunity to inch even closer. Trae Young for three. Misses it off the front rim. Rebounded by Dwight Howard. So the Sixers will go into the fourth. Up 18. The Hawks made some leeway, even though very minimal. They outscored the Sixers by 4, 29-25. Stay tuned for more. This is the Game of Day by Zay, presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. 76ers up 87-69, looking to take a 3-2 lead in the best of 7 between the Philadelphia 76ers and Atlanta Hawks. Welcome back as we start the final quarter of Game 5 as the Sixers lead 87-69. George Hill tries to get a floater inside, can't get the finish. Offensive rebound to Dwight Howard, goes right back up. He can't get the finish. So the Hawks trying to make their last-ditch effort to try to steal this Game 5. Series tied at 2. Danilo Gallinari in the post against George Hill. 10 on the shot clock. He goes baseline. Great pickup there defensively by Dwight Howard to make that difficult. He goes out to Lou Williams. Lou Williams can't get the three, but Okongu is there on the offensive glass to get the putback. So it's a 16-point game now with 11 minutes to go. The Sixers are not out of the water just yet. They have to continue to get good shots. They have to protect the basketball. And if you're capable, knock down timely threes just to let the Hawks know that this game is over. They're going to Tobias Harris in the post. 4 on the shot clock. Mid-range jumper for Tobias. He can't get it to fall. Tobias tonight has not had a good shooting night, but he hasn't needed to because this Sixers team has just been so dominant offensively. But we get a timeout by Doc Rivers as the deficit is now 14 as Lou Williams knocks in the mid-range jumper. Tobias tonight shooting 2 of 9 from the floor, 0 of 3 from 3. He had 4 rebounds and 3 assists, only 4 points though. So the Sixers will definitely need him to pick it up as this game has gotten closer and it's a bit uncomfortable for the Sixers with 10:43 to go. Stay tuned for more. 87-73, Sixers lead. Stay tuned for more. Welcome back as the 76ers get an open 3 from George Hill. He misses it off the right wing. Rebounded by Dwight Howard. He turns over the basketball, and now the Hawks are down by 11. A 3-point shot from Danilo Gallinari now has the Hawks on a 15-2 run over the last 3 minutes and 50 seconds. This second unit has struggled throughout this series. They've gotten sparks periodically. I mentioned Shake Milton saving Game 2 for the Sixers and providing that spark plug. Game 3, we saw a big performance by Furkan Korkmaz as Danny Green went out with a calf strain, and now you start to see Doc Rivers put his finishers in the game. Furkan Korkmaz obviously starting because Danny Green is out for 2 weeks with that calf strain. He's bringing in Embiid. He's bringing in Ben Simmons. He's bringing in Seth Curry. This is an opportunity for the Hawks to put some pressure on the Sixers and have to make them execute down the stretch, make them think about it. So far through the first 3 quarters, they haven't had to think. Everything has been flowing. Now the Hawks have put pressure on them, and we'll see how they execute. Embiid with 31 points through 3 quarters. He's been very, very dominant. Let's see how he finishes the fourth. Seth Curry has been a very, very, very complimentary player tonight, and I say that with all due respect because tonight he's really carried the Sixers from a shooting standpoint. 9 of 10 of 15 from the floor with 27 points. But Onego Ganku's starting to get it going. Lou Williams sets up the pick and roll. Okongu gets the alley-oop, so it's back to an 11-point game. 89-78. We approach 9 minutes to play. Ben Simmons looking to set up Seth Curry. Seth gets it out to Embiid. 10 on the shot clock. Embiid going against Okongu. Fade away for Embiid. Good. So big basket for Embiid. The 76ers definitely need his prolific scoring as we finish up this fourth quarter. Lou Williams starting to provide that spark for the Hawks to make them believe they could win. Sixers get a stop. Turnover by Lou Williams. He has to step in front of Tobias to prevent that fast break. So a big stop for the Sixers, as I mentioned, Atlanta on this big run with 8:55 to play. Trae Young comes back into the game, and I mentioned ad nauseum his prowess to shoot the basketball. This team is one of the best shooting teams in the league, so the 76ers will be in a world of trouble if they're not disciplined over the last 8 minutes and 55 seconds. Trae coming back into the game. 76ers with possession as Solomon Hill heads to the bench. You look at the bench scoring tonight. Atlanta, 26 points. 76ers, 13 bench points. Seth Curry, mid-range jumper, pulls up and knocks it down on the right wing. So big basket for the Sixers trying to redevelop that momentum and get that consistency to finish out this quarter. Seth Curry stepping up huge tonight now with 29 points, 11 of 16 from the floor. Timeout called by Nate McMillan with 8:37 to play. 76ers looking to finish up this game 5 and take a 3-2 lead. Stay tuned. Welcome back as the 76ers up 15. Seth Curry's had a huge fourth quarter to keep the 76ers lead going. Lou Williams has led this Hawks team back as now they're down 13. They've outscored the Sixers 11-6 here in the fourth. They recently went on a 15-2 run to make the Sixers sweat just a bit. And now Embiid is attacking. He misses a dunk, but he's fouled by Gallinari, so he'll go to the free throw line for 2. Embiid tonight, very, very dominant, 33.7 of 7 from the free throw line, 12 of 16 from the floor. Gallinari had to foul Embiid to prevent that slam. I still think he should have made it, but again, he was fouled. The Sixers have dominated in this game. They've led wire to wire. But again, when you have such a big lead for so long, you tend to take your foot off the gas. And that's when teams tend to take advantage and make you pay. The Hawks have done that over the last couple of minutes. So now we have a 14-point lead. Doc Rivers has had to put his starters back into the game. I mentioned the bench scoring, and it's a bit skewed because Furkan Korkmaz, who is a normal part of the bench rotation, has had to start with Danny Green out. Furkan Korkmaz tonight with 8 points. So if you add his 8 points to the normal 13 that you get off the bench, that would be 21 bench points. And the gap between the Hawks and the Sixers, 26-13, wouldn't be as bad. But Lou Williams has gotten it going here. He's very, very comfortable in Philadelphia. He started his career in Philadelphia, played with the Sixers for 7 years, really established himself, especially after coming out of high school. He played under Allen Iverson, who's here tonight, along with Dr. J, Aaron McKee, and other Sixers luminaries. But again, Lou's history here is well documented on and off the court, a very, very integral part of this Philadelphia community. And although he's been on a number of teams, the Hawks, the Toronto Raptors, the Clippers, to be here, be home, or and be at your home away from home, and then play for your home team in the Atlanta Hawks, he's very, very comfortable here tonight. And he's finally having a breakout game. Seth Curry is fouled by Trae Young as Young was fighting over that screen. So we look at the team's fifth foul. Seth Curry will go to the free throw line. I mentioned Curry tonight. He had to go into the free throw line, but if he makes one of these 2 free throws, he'll have a 30-point performance. If he makes both, he'll get to 31. He misses the first. So if you're the Sixers, you can't give up valuable points right now. The Hawks are definitely in a run, and all these pennies count. Second free throw for Curry is good. So it's a 14-point game. The Sixers right now just trying to hold on, get to Atlanta with a 3-2 lead with an opportunity to close out. Lou Williams trying to get it to Herter. The pass a bit off target, so they have to go back to Lou. Floater for Lou is good. So the 76ers trying to pack that paint and prevent that alley-oop, but Lou's gotten it going. I mentioned Lou Williams really picking up his scoring right now. 5 of 8 from the floor now with 10 points. Seth Curry trying to kick it out to Embiid. Embiid thought about a 3, instead attacks, and he's fouled. He's fouled by Capella as he's sold out to prevent that slam and be very, very aggressive despite that slight meniscus tear in his right knee. Again, anytime he hits the floor, the 76er faithful is always worried. Embiid tonight is so dominant. Uh, 12 of 16 from the floor, 9 of 9 from the free throw line. They're going to need him to finish, not only finish this game, finish this series, and potentially try to push them towards a finals appearance, which they haven't seen since the 2001 season. First free throw for Embiid is good. Now 10 of 10 from the floor with 36 points. Sixers back up 13. They have to sustain and maintain this 4-possession lead just to keep the pressure up. You know, right now, the Hawks are scoring. They're going bucket for bucket with the Sixers, but you never know with the three-point line. That three-point line is dangerous. This Hawks team is very, very aggressive from three, and when they smell blood, they tend to really, really chase the three. So the Sixers have to stay disciplined defensively. If you can get the ball out of Trae Young's hands and just keep trading twos, then you'll be out of here with a victory. Sixers up 98-84. Lou Williams attacking, mid-range jumper, knocks it down. So Lou is in a groove right now. He's in a groove. He's comfortable. Although the Hawks are losing, when you look at how they're playing here in the fourth, they're definitely building that momentum. They're 8 of 9 from the floor here in the fourth, while the Sixers are 3 of 7. Seth Curry tries to improve that percentage, now 4 of 8 as he knocks in the mid-range jumper at the top of the key. So 32 points tonight for Seth Curry, 12 of 17 from the floor. Lou takes the 3, makes the 3. So that rhythm that I spoke about, Lou's picking it up. Even if the Hawks lose, they go to Atlanta. That rhythm that Lou picked up could be very, very dangerous for Philadelphia in Game 6. Seth Curry with the basketball, Sixers up 11, excuse me. And B going against Capella, fades away, tries to draw a foul, no call, rebounded by Gallinari. So with 5:48 to play, this is an opportunity for the Hawks to get within single digits. They haven't been inside double digits since the first quarter. They've been down by as many as 26 tonight. Lou Williams is picked up in the fourth. Lou tonight really had his best game of the playoffs. 7 of 10 from the floor, 1 of 2 from 3, 15 points. His plus minus while on the floor for the Hawks is plus 15. So in his 17 minutes, he's definitely made it worth their while. Sixers trap Trae Young. He has to get it to Collins off the glass, and he knocks it in. So it's an 8-point game now, 100-92. The Hawks are coming back. It's more than enough time. John Collins now with 19 points, 7 of 10 from the floor. Sixers have to continue to score. 5 minutes to play. Embiid attacking. Fadeaway jumper. Misses it off the side of the rim. Rebounded by Collins. So we approach 5 minutes to play. 8-point game. Trae Young chasing the 3. Finds Gallinari. Over to Collins. Collins just knocked in the 3. He misses this one. The Hawks get the offensive rebound. Lou Williams, 3-point shot. Misses it off the back rim. It goes straight to Seth Curry, and Curry draws a foul. That helps Philadelphia because the Hawks are in the penalty, but right now is dangerous. I mentioned the Hawks chasing threes once the game gets close. You see, once a rhythm starts to happen, anything is possible. You saw a 3-point shot from John Collins, who's not the best 3-point shooter, but he's capable. And when a run starts, anything happens. Goes off the glass, hits the 3. Now it's a 3-possession game, and with the 3-point line, anything is possible. Curry's first free throw is good, so the Sixers go back up by 9. They want to maintain this double-digit lead. They have to sustain this double-digit lead. Right now, the Hawks outscoring Philadelphia 23-14 here in the fourth. Second free throw for Curry is good, so he's 6 points away from a 40-point night. The Sixers need every single point right now. It's a 10-point game, 102-92, 4:40 to go. Trae Young with the basketball. He's been quiet here since he's come back in the game in the fourth, but again, Trae, anything is possible. He tries to set up an alley for Capella. And Embiid wasn't able to stop the floater this time. Embiid went up to block the floater. It kind of looked like an alley-oop. Embiid came down hard trying to stop that floater. Again, every time Embiid hits the floor, this Sixers team is always worried. Embiid gets up though, and the Hawks go to the hack of Ben. Ben Simmons makes the first free throw, so the 76er crowd imploring him and encouraging him. Big free throw for Ben. Second free throw, good. So big free throws made by Ben Simmons when it matters. 104-94. We approach 4 minutes to play. Can the Sixers get the necessary stops to survive this Hawks comeback? We see a foul by Seth Curry to stop Trae Young downhill. Sixers still have fouls to give, so not a penalty. Sideline out of bounds. Lou Will be inbounded. Trae Young guarded by Ben Simmons. Trae trying to get inside off the glass. Simmons had to be careful not to commit that foul. Big time aggressiveness by Trae Young now. Trae with 30. He's 8 of 19 from the floor, but he's picking it up when it matters most. Can the Sixers sustain and continue to score? 34 points for Seth Curry. Curry looking to get it to Embiid. Top of the key, takes the three, misses it. Big miss there. 3:49 to play. It's an 8-point game. Trae Young, 30-footer. Misses it short. Rebounded by John Collins. Over to Gallinari. Good closeout by Matisse Thybulle. They reset for Collins. Collins mid-range jumper off the back rim. Rebounded by Embiid. He finds Ben Simmons. Simmons is fouled by Trae Young. So good hack of Ben. Opportunity for the Hawks as Ben struggling at the free throw line. He just went to the line and knocked down 2 huge free throws. Can he continue? This crowd is again imploring him, trying to motivate him and encourage him despite his struggles at the free throw line. First free throw rims out. So if you're the Hawks, you'll take it because even if he makes one, you shave off a point with an opportunity to inch even closer. It's an 8-point game, 3:31 to play. Second free throw, rims out. Rebounded by Collins. So Collins finds Trae Young, 3:27 to go here in the fourth. John Collins at the rim. Great setup for Capella, and he slams it home. So now it's a 6-point game, 3:20 to go. The Hawks have gotten into a 2-possession game, timeout called by Doc Rivers, who understands how valuable this time is. This is a Sixers team that was up by as much as 26. They've gone cold here in the fourth. The Hawks have outscored them by 14 points, by 12 points, 29-17. And the Sixers, if they lose game 2, all pressure being on them for game 6 on the road. If they lose game 5, all pressure being on them to finish out a game 6 on the road is very, very difficult. Knowing how young this team is, how encouraged they are by that home crowd, for them to survive and win game 4 in the fashion that they did, to come back home with a 3-2 lead and the opportunity to close out, you do not want to face that. So Doc Rivers has to implore his team to get quality possessions, and he might have to make a lineup adjustment down the stretch here to get Ben out of the game. These free throws that he's missing, they definitely come back to haunt them, as tonight, Simmons 2 of 4 from the floor, 4 for 14 at the free throw line. He has 8 points, he has 9 assists, he has 4 rebounds, and he's a terror defensively. But if he continues to miss these free throws, you might see Doc have to put in Shake Milton or Tyrese Maxey just to finish out this final minute and 20 seconds to get it inside of 2 minutes so that the Hawks can't hack a Ben. And even if they do, it might be in the act of shooting or anywhere near that to put Ben at the line, and he could be struggling again. It's a 2-possession game. The Hawks are on the prowl. Let's see what happens. It's 3:20 to go. They recently just called a timeout, so I stayed here. I didn't go to commercial with TNT, but it's a 3-minute and 20-second game left. The Sixers have to figure out how to get Embiid going again. He kind of slowed down. The Sixers were up by so much that he sat for a long period of time. Might have lost his rhythm. He's 12 of 19 from the floor. He has 37 points. He's taking some hard falls as well at the latter part of this fourth quarter. So you got to be conscious of, obviously he has a right meniscus tear, slight right meniscus tear, which has allowed him to keep playing nevertheless. But still, this game is very, very important, and this Sixers team has to figure out how to finish. Lou Williams is definitely the player of the game for the Hawks right now. Lou Williams, his second half performance has really gotten this Hawks team going, especially here in the fourth. In his 20 minutes of play, he's plus 20 on the floor. He has 15 points. He has 3 assists. He's 1 of 3 from 3. And again, just very, very comfortable here in Philadelphia. He has history here as a 3-time Sixth Man of the Year in his career, one of the greatest 6 men of all time. He's the all-time leading scorer off the bench in NBA history. So his microwave ability to get things going is definitely what the Hawks need. Here in the playoffs, he hasn't had the best shooting that we're used to seeing from a player of his caliber. But again, he's been in the game for 16 years. He's very, very comfortable in situations, understanding he's going across multiple teams and multiple opposition. So he knows what it takes to finish out games. Sixers with the basketball. We approach 3 minutes to play. Turnover out of that timeout. Bad turnover by Tobias Harris, and the Hawks forced that turnover with 3:09 to go. Bad turnover here. Sixers 9 a penalty. So we're about to be inside of 3 minutes to play. 2-possession game, which is nothing for Trae Young. Mid-range jumper for Trae. He makes it. It's a 4-point game now. 104 to 100. This might be a catastrophic blown lead by the Sixers. They were up by as many as 26 in control through 3 quarters. 2-possession game now. 2:40 to play. Can Seth Curry make key shots now? He's been the real perimeter player to complement Embiid tonight. 37 points, 3 on the shot clock. Embiid has to get a shot up. Fade away. He misses it. Doesn't hit the rim. So it's a 24-second violation. Bad possession here for Philadelphia. 2:29 to play. You can see the Sixers looking at the clock now. Can they get defensive stops? The Hawks have gotten everything they wanted here in the fourth, and now it's snowballed to a point where they believe they can win. 2:25 to go for the Hawks. Will they complete this comeback, or will the Sixers hold on? Trae Young, floater. He misses it off the back rim, but it goes right in. So it's a 2-point game now. We approach 2 minutes to play. Seth Curry with the basketball. The Hawks back on a 16-4 run over the last 4 minutes. Embiid with the basketball. Attacks Capella, and he's fouled. Pardon me. Okay, say it's deflected. It's deflected. But Trae Young has definitely picked it up here in the fourth. The Sixers do not have any answer for him right now. He, along with Lou Williams, has gotten it going. Sixers up by 2, 4 on the shot clock. Tobias needs to make a shot. He attacks. Can he get a shot off? He does. Sixers miss. Rebounded by Gallinari. Inside of 2 minutes. 1:44 to play. The 76ers have gone completely cold here in the fourth. They were up by 16 going into the fourth. They were up by as many as 26. Trae Young, guarded by Matisse Thybulle. Thought about a 3. And a foul is called. So now Trae Young will go to the free throw line with an opportunity to get 3 free throws. Now, there's been a point of contention over the last couple of weeks about unnatural shooting motions. You saw there Trae not really in a shooting position, really trying to initiate that contact. He went straight into Thybulle. So the competition committee will look into that going into the offseason. But for right now, you got to use it to your advantage. Trae makes the first. So with 3 free throws, the Hawks have an opportunity to take their first lead since the first quarter. They were down by as many as 26 in this game. Trae Young, 10 of 22 from the field, 35 points, 13 of 15 from the free throw line, and he is knocking them down with precision right now. 2 of 2 at the free throw line. This next free throw will give the Hawks their first lead since the first quarter. They were again down by 26, and Doc Rivers has to call a timeout. If you're Doc Rivers, you are completely disgusted with how your team has performed down the stretch. I mentioned earlier those turnovers coming back to haunt you. When you look at what the Sixers have done here in the fourth, they let him get going. Lou Williams definitely got it going. He's knocked down key shots. He's gotten in the rhythm. And then the starting 5 of Trae Young and others have completely followed suit. And now we are in for a barn burner for the final 1 minute and 26 seconds. Stay tuned for more. This is a Game of Day by Zay, presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. Man, welcome back to another edition of a Game of Day by Zay, presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. I'm Isaiah Rhodes. 122 to go. Sixers down by 1 now. Tobias Harris trying to find Joel Embiid. Embiid inside finds Harris. He has his left layup blocked. Can the Sixers save possession? They do not. And if you're Doc Rivers, you want to review that. But it looks like the Hawks get possession. Big stop as Embiid tried to get it to Tobias Harris. He had it blocked at the rim. Okay, so they say possession goes to the Hawks. They're going to review it, so we'll be back. 1:13 to go. Sixers down by 1. 11 on the shot clock. They say it went off of John Collins. They're reviewing it to make sure it went off of Collins. But again, the Hawks were down 26 here in this game. The Sixers were thoroughly in control. They've gotten dominant performances from Joel Embiid and Seth Curry. But since the start of this fourth quarter, it's just been a horrible possession by possession breakdown by the Sixers. Stay tuned for more. Call on the floor stands. It is Atlanta basketball. 1:13 to play. Atlanta up by 1 with possession. The 76ers have leaned on defense the entire year. They have 3 all-defensive players on their team: Ben Simmons, Matisse Thybulle, and Joel Embiid. This is the time where they need to hang their hat on defense and survive. Down by 1 here at home after being up by 26. If the Hawks somehow come back and complete this comeback, there will be hell to pay if the 76ers don't somehow win this series. They go to Gallinari. Mismatch with Seth Curry on the left block. Gallinari in the post. Goes out to Lou. Lou thought about a 3. Back to Gallinari. Gallinari, mid-range jumper. Knocks it down. So it's a 3-point game inside of 50 seconds. 107 to 104. Seth Curry's come up huge. 3-point shot. He misses it off the back rim. Rebounded by Lou Williams. And the Hawks, who have 20 seconds in between shot clock and game clock, all they have to do is get a quality shot right here. The Sixers need a stop, and they need 2 scores to go up by 1. Trae Young, 3-point shot over Ben Simmons. He misses it. Rebounded by Embiid. Timeout by Doc Rivers. The shot clock is off, so the 76ers have 21.9 seconds left. Hawks up by 3. All they have to do is not foul. The Sixers have knocked down 3s tonight, but they've struggled here in the 4th. And under pressure, you never know what type of shots can happen when you're down by 3. So the game is not over. But if you're the Sixers, what do you want? What are you willing to risk of? Trying to score a quick 2 and missing, then giving the Hawks an opportunity to go up 5, or you go for the 3, tie the game, potentially missing, and you go down 3-2 regardless. But nevertheless, though, this particular game for the Hawks is the epitome of what builds character. Being down by 26 on the road, having a young team versus an experienced team, or what you would think would be an experienced team. They have the coaching, they have the MVP candidate, but they don't stop. They continue to fight, they continue to compete, and when you give yourself a chance, crazy things happen. The Hawks have come back from a 26-point deficit. They were down by 16 going into the 4th. The Sixers were dominating. Joel Embiid had a spectacular game through 3 quarters. Here in the 4th, 21.9 left. Let's see what happens as Nate McMillan has completely restored this Hawks team. They play for him. They give everything that they can. And now this is a Hawks team who was the #1 seed all year, or for the majority of the year in the East. Now trailing by 3 here at home. They're trying to survive and get to overtime. And if they lose this game, like I said, man, the Hawks, they have all the momentum going into game 6. Ben Simmons will be inbounding on the floor for the Sixers. Joel Embiid, Tobias Harris, Shake Milton, and Seth Curry. for the Hawks: Danilo Gallinari, Kevin Herter, Capella, John Collins, Solomon Hill. And B, attacks, contact, and we got a blocking foul. So it'll be a blocking foul, and B to go to the free throw line down 3. He hasn't missed a free throw all night. 10.9 left. He has to make both free throws, and the Sixers will have to foul to remain in this game and give themselves a chance to win. So Embiid attacks Gallinari. Gallinari was in the restricted area, so Embiid will go to the free throw line for 2. First free throw for Embiid. He misses it. So right now, this is a complete choke job for the Sixers right now. Embiid, 37 points, 12 of 20 from the floor, 11 of 12 from the free throw line. He just missed his first free throw at the worst time. 10.9 to go here in the fourth. Embiid trying to get his second. He misses the second. And now we got a timeout. So Embiid misses both. Hawks are in the driver's seat to finish up one of the biggest comebacks in NBA history. You look at this Sixers crowd, they're in complete disbelief, ready to just go home and cry their eyes out because of what they just witnessed. Being up by 26, thoroughly in control, knocking down every shot possible, getting the crowd involved, and then you just, like an hourglass, watch it completely deteriorate. If you're Doc Rivers in this Sixers team, you cannot believe what you're witnessing. You have the Sixers luminaries in the building, Dr. J, Allen Iverson, Aaron McKee, and so many others. To lose in this fashion in front of your home crowd in a must-win Game 5 that will swing a series, put you up 3-2 with an opportunity to close out in Game 6, this is not only heartbreaking, it's demoralizing and can kill your spirit going on the road. If the Sixers do not win Game 6, their dream season and potential for a finals run or whatever you think that this Sixers team could be, to lose this game in this fashion going to Atlanta, things will definitely be changing in Philadelphia this offseason. 10.2 to go as they are showing Lou Williams. Lou Williams is definitely the player of the game tonight. I know Trae Young is going to go down with the 37 points, and pardon me, not 37. He's going to go down with, no, I was right, 37 points, 10 of 23 from the floor, but the player of the game has to be Lou Williams. Lou Williams' fourth quarter got the Hawks back into it. They've gone on a number of double-digit to single-digit runs. Earlier in the fourth quarter, they went on a 15-2 run. And to finish this game, they're currently on a 19-4 run. These 76ers have completely folded down the stretch offensively. They haven't gotten anything fluid. They've turned over the basketball. They've gotten missed threes. Joel Embiid just missed 2 free throws that the Sixers desperately needed to stay in this game. So if you're the Sixers, all you have right now is a prayer. You got to try to get a stop prior to fouling. And then if you do foul, you got to hope that the Hawks miss and give you an opportunity to tie this game. On the floor for the Hawks, Kevin Herter, John Collins, Gallinari, Trae Young, and Lou Williams. All great three-point shooters. And the Hawks able to inbound to Trae. Trae dribbles it out. He is fouled by Tobias with 8.4 left. Trae, one of the best free throw shooters in the league, 13 of 15 at the free throw line tonight. He has completely turned his game around here in the fourth. The Sixers, well, not even just the fourth, but the entire second half, really. He hasn't been efficient from the field, but when you look at the timely threes that he's had, the free throws that he's had, and again, just the fortitude to keep fighting despite being down by 26. Now, the Hawks, the sky's the limit. You go home to Atlanta. Even if you go home and lose, this particular game in itself will give you the confidence necessary to propel you into the future. This is a young Hawks team on the rise. When you consider what Nate McMillan has done, especially in the second half of the season, to get this team rolling. They have one of the best records in the second half of all the league. When you look at the youth, the experience or lack thereof, and how they're growing before our eyes. They defeat the New York Knicks, who were the favorite in that series. They were the higher seed as well. They go into New York. They get 2 road wins. They defeat the Knicks in 5 games. Now you come to Philadelphia and get 2 road wins with an opportunity to close out in Atlanta. An amazing, amazing victory. Trey makes both free throws. Sixers down by 5, 109-104. George Hill dribble handoff to Korkmaz. Korkmaz for 3. He misses it. Seth Curry jump shot. He makes it, but it's all cosmetic at this point. The Hawks have come back from a 26-point deficit to defeat the Philadelphia 76ers 109-106. Trey Young and the Atlanta Hawks have outscored the 76ers 40-19 here in the fourth quarter. Big time fourth quarters by Lou Williams and by Trey Young has solidified this victory. Atlanta takes a 3-2 lead with an opportunity to close out on Friday. This is a Game of Day by Zay, presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. If you're the Philadelphia 76ers, I don't know how you rebound from this. You get a magnificent performance from Joel Embiid through 3 quarters. He had 37 points in 39 minutes, 12 of 20 from the floor, 2 of 4 from 3, 11 of 13 from the free throw line. He went cold because he sat for so long. The Sixers were up by so much. He lost rhythm and just couldn't get it going. You get Tobias Harris tonight, 38 minutes, 2 of 11 from the floor, 4 points. Ben Simmons, 8 points, 4 of 14 from the free throw line. Furkan Korkmaz, 8 points. Dwight Howard, no points in 9 minutes. The bench scoring. Matisse Thybulle had 6 in 24 minutes, 5 points from Shake Milton in 13 minutes. George Hill with 2 points. If you're Atlanta, look what you were able to do, especially with Lou Williams off the bench in 23 minutes. 15 points, 1 of 3 from 3. He had 3 assists, 7 of 11 from the floor. Trey Young's 39 points were magnificent, but Lou Williams got it going in the fourth. John Collins, huge game as well. He kept the Hawks in it with efficiency early. He was 7 of 12 from the floor, 3 of 4 from 3, 19 points, 11 rebounds, and 2 blocks. And then Bogdanovich, who was in foul trouble all night, only 3 of 9 from the floor, got great contributions from Danilo Gallinari to pick him up. 16 points, 6 of 10 from the floor, 3 of 4 from 3, and some huge baskets down the stretch to solidify this 76er complete collapse and Hawks comeback. It will be a debate as to whether the Hawks won this game or the 76ers lost this game. It's a little bit of both. I would say the 76ers lost this game, but again, when you lose, the team that won, they won't take any punches. They will take it, go to Atlanta with an opportunity to close out on Friday. We'll be back to cover that, as this is a Game of Day by Zay, presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. I'm Isaiah Rhodes. Thank you for watching. Peace.